Hello friends, welcome back everyone. It's so good to have you here in my studio, and I really hope you're gonna pause, you're gonna join me, and you're gonna paint some beautiful greeting cards with me today. Super easy idea. We have done some ornaments already painted on the cards, but this time I would love you to just use your hand, just be free-handed in painting without any stencils, no stamping, just your brush and your hand. And I tell you, you can do it. It's easy as it looks, and you don't have to worry about your shapes being super straight, super even, because we will be doodling at the end. We will be making them more artistic, more free, and I would love you to feel free. Even if your bubbles are going to touch each other, that's okay too. The paint will mix lovely, and it's no problem, no worries, because this is our way of just expressing ourselves, exploring the paint, and just do however it feels right. As you can tell, I'm mixing all sorts of greens. I'm not really focusing on one type of paint or one brand. I'm just grabbing, I actually regret it's not on the screen, you can't see it, because I was painting something purple and blue beforehand, and this watercolor painting just happened afterwards, and I felt inspired and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I had my green in front of me, but you can't see them on the camera. That's okay too. Then I was adding a little bit of blue, kind of dirty blue, a touch of that, just to make our bubbles a little different. And of course, the doodling part starts, and it's so different. With the doodling, with all outlining, everything just feels different, looks different, and it is so much better. I really would love you to try it out, because this technique, it's fantastic. It gives you this ability to create something that looks very much professional and proper, even though you can tell that it's wobbly, and it's okay. I think the beauty lies in that wobbliness, in the fact that it's just not so even and perfect, even if the bubbles are touching each other, even if they're not that straight, even if the color lies differently, it's okay, because at the end as well, we will be adding some sparkles to it, sparkly paint, and everything will look just different. I'm using a marker, one of my favorite markers. You can find the actual name and everything in the description box, so please check it out. This year I have all the colors, which is gold, which is silver, which is rose gold, and even copper. My favorite still is the gold one. I have used silver, I have used rose gold once. I liked it, but it still somehow feels so amazing about the gold. It's a fabulous finish, and it's so elegant with the gold. I think this is why probably I most like it or use it and grab it. I think it just matches to most of the colors as well. And then on the right, you can see that I'm starting adding gorgeous shine. My absolute favorite handmade Scream, beautiful handmade watercolors. I just love them, adore them. And I would love you to try and fall in love with the watercolors of this kind. I used to being against sort of metallic colors, because I just felt, I don't know, that I didn't know how to really paint with it, and I actually was doing it wrong as well. When you start using watercolors of this kind with the huge shimmer, you have to remember to use water beforehand. So you really have to add water to your pigment, to your beautiful paint, and let's say let it sit for a minute, maybe two, mix it up a little bit, and then maybe add one more drop or something. So really, with those kind of watercolors, you need to take time for the pigment to mix it up well, to just feel right. I like to call it that the pigment that I love using, the consistency, it's like a muddy. It's like mud. It's like a little bit like a porridge sort of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really that kind of consistency to get the pigment, because if you will use it straight from the pan, it's not going to be as shiny. Possibly you will see it through. It takes time for the pigment to reactivate with water as well. Also, from my point of view, it's not easy to even record the shine. It's not easy to show you. That's why I'm oftentimes tilting the card, because I really wish you to see how different and gorgeous that is. Also, I'm using 2 different shades, as you can tell, and they are a little bit different. And as well, the bubble, one of them, I felt that there was not enough stripes, and I just fixed it as well at some point later in the video. Sometimes when you paint, you don't see those things, and only afterwards you realize it, and even more you realize it when you do the edit part like now. And I was like, why there's so much space left on those lines? I'm gonna fix it at the end of the video, but I still would feel that I could fix it even more. These days I probably would add the tiny lines, like really like super tiny lines. I'm going over it as well because it feels that it could be darker, it could be more pigmented, and sometimes the second layer, it's your answer. Those are great paints and they will last you long. Honestly, the pigment is amazing and you don't have to worry that you're gonna run out of it, because also the pans are huge. Like the amount of, it's like double of the half pans, I think. No, they half pans, sorry. They double of the quarters, so that's the half pan. Here on this bubble, why have I left so much space there? I don't know. I then added later on extra tiny lines, but it took me some thinking, I guess. And also it took me thinking of what sort of designs to do, because sometimes I just feel that I'm painting over and over similar things, but at the end of the day, Marta, these are like ornaments. They look the best in the ornament way, and the ornaments sort of way of being painted, designed and all. So basically, I would love you to try to be courageous and do different designs on your bubbles, as some of them could be just fully shine, and that's perfectly fine as well. I have been holding and tilting the card because honestly I was in such a worry that you don't see it in the camera how absolutely gorgeousness that is, and I really hope that at some point you have been able to see how shiny beautiful that is. Even when you record and you look in the camera, you sometimes are not too sure whether you do see it well or not, shine enough or not, because there's so much light as well around me that it's really difficult to see in the camera. However, I can see that the shine is perfectly visible. I love 2 tones. I love that one of them is a little bit more yellowish, the other is a little bit more greeny, and I love that. I love the most, I think, the last bubble, one of the last bubbles, because this one, it had those tiny dots, and when it dried it looked so gorgeousness. I loved it. And also the paint, every paint, but I think especially the metallic one, the shifter one, the color that changes, I think it looks so different depending on whether it's wet or dry. It really does look different when it's dry, when it's really fully dry. It's amazing to see how the color shift and changes, and it's just amazing, fantastic. If you wish to have a look in the Scream watercolor store, don't forget to use coupon code Maremi20 for extra 20% off. So please check it out, go and have a look. I would love you to have this offer. Also, I think maybe sometimes they run different kind of offers, so have a look as well what's going on in their store or on their Instagram account. Check it out. Oh, there you go, we have those lines that I thought I miss them hugely. And my beautiful friends, so we're going to be finishing here. Thank you so much as always for being part of my video, for coming to watch. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it, enjoyed it, and most importantly, I really hope you painted with me. Happy painting, have a beautiful day, and I'll chat to you soon. I love you loads. Check the other video. Bye bye.